Hi, Doug Jones here with another Energy Matters vlog. This one is entitled Unsticking My Mind from the Coronavirus. Why can't I stop thinking about this silly virus? It just is constant sometimes, and I love to look at my own mind and see what's going on under the hood in there. And I'm aware that I spend more and more time thinking about this. And that's a problem for me. So first I want to validate all of us for thinking about it. One, it's everywhere. It's in the news. It's throughout our lives. It's in our behavior, etc. And two, it's unprecedented. That the reason they call it a novel virus is because our immune systems have never seen it before. And I don't know what to do with it. And our leadership hasn't had to deal with things like this and don't know what to do with it. And our communities haven't seen something like this, and so forth and so on. And so it does deserve a certain amount of attention and thought, and I'd like to validate all of us for doing that. However, for me, often the coronavirus feels like wrestling with flypaper. And if you don't know what flypaper was, it's a spool of sticky tape, and they hang around horse barns and things. And when you catch a finger on it or something, you become a comedy skit because you reach up to get this finger clear, and now this finger's stuck, and then you just like snarl. It's very hard to extricate myself from flypaper. At least that was my experience with it as a child. It's also a little bit like whack-a-mole. I mean, I knock it down here and it pops up over here, and then I'm just, it's everywhere. So here are two thoughts on what to do with that. The first is, I think for myself and for the people who've been working with me that this is an excellent time to work on cultivating discipline of the mind. Discipline of the mind. And for example, meditation. To take the mind and focus it on the breath, in and out, or focus it on a mantra, in or out, or focus it on a candle flame or an idea. And if your mind wanders off to food, you bring it back. If it wanders off to the coronavirus, you bring it back. And you stay with that focused discipline of the mind. And there are a lot of different ways to do this. I'm not advocating any one meditation practice or style. Whatever you have done, or you certainly can start investigating any basic meditation, which is easily available, can really help you begin to cultivate this focus of the mind on what you choose to focus it on and not upon noise from the outside. The second thing is understand how vacuum works, that if your mind isn't focused on something, it's basically like a vacuum. Yes, I have a vacuum head, a little bit of an airhead. And what happens is what's around will rush in to fill it. Right now, what's around is the coronavirus rushes in to fill it, and that gets really uncomfortable for me. So I've been focusing a lot on being very deliberate in what I fill my attention with, what I draw my mind to, what I focus on. For example, I'm an indifferent gardener. I don't really care for gardening, but I like having a pretty garden, so I do it. And last week, I had a moment in time with a warm day and the soil was wet, and I went on a grass eradication mission in the garden, and I was very focused on finding all of the grass and digging it up, including the roots. And I had 45 minutes. I didn't think about the coronavirus once. I was just thinking about the garden, the grass, and this war I've been having with invasive grass. And it was great. It was a great break. Also, when I'm doing normal tasks like washing the dishes or house cleaning and so forth, I've been using a book on tape. So what I'm focusing on is the story. And I've got a great story going right now. And so instead of a vacuum or a blank where other thoughts can come in, I'm really staying on track with the story. And it does create a bit of space from the coronavirus. There are lots of other strategies. These are just two that will work. But I'm going to really encourage you to orient to unsticking your mind from the coronavirus. So you think about it at the appropriate time, and then you don't. I hope this helps. This is Doug Jones. Thanks for listening.